it is not something that I planned on doing or anything. It just was a way of life. I had to find myself and ways to love myself and feel good about myself. We organize close to 300 events a year, and like at least 10% of those events are like really massive events. Again, it's not just me, okay? It's a whole village, like hundreds of artists around us. The best part about the show is I was almost sold out in my first show. How many people are lucky enough to get their passion as their profession, right? For me, like both passions, business and art, both are my passion.
Sweetie Sharada is a visionary artist, educator, and community builder whose work is redefining the role of creativity in youth empowerment and civic engagement. As the founder of Sweetie Sharada Arts and Expression Arts, a non-profit organization, a transformative art-based small business in King County, she has trained over 25,000 students and ignited the launch of more than 35 youth-led initiatives across journalism, STEAM education, public art, and senior wellness programs. Sweetie's mission is rooted in the belief that art can be a powerful driver of social impact and economic growth. Through partnership with over 50 organizations, including libraries, veteran groups, schools, boys and girls club, and community centers, her programs make the arts accessible to all, while also equipping young people with entrepreneurial skills and platform to lead. Her Youth Entrepreneur Expos are a testament to this vision, uniting diverse talents from martial arts to music, puppetry to dance, and events that celebrate culture and business acumen. Under her leadership, Sweetie Sharada Arts has launched a youth-led film production wing, created public school murals, designed stage sets for theatrical productions, and organized art exhibitions, book launches, and non-profit fundraisers. Her studio also provides meaningful employment opportunity for artists, first-time educators, youth interns, while championing inclusion, neurodiversity, and cultural representation. Sweetie's reach extends far beyond her studio. Her team organizes national and international art contests that empower students to explore themes of peace, empathy, and sustainability while connecting across cultures. She also mentors youth through high-stakes public art projects and competitive grants, with many of her students earning accolades on regional, national, and global stages. At the heart of Sweetie's approach is a deep belief in cross-disciplinary learning, blending storytelling, STEM, media, and performance arts to cultivate a well-rounded, socially conscious leaders. Her work has sparked ripple effects across communities, creating more connected, compassionate, and creative world. It's our honor to have Sweetie with us in this episode of Stories Within podcast. Hi, Sweetie Sharda. Thank you so much for coming. How are you doing, Sweetie?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me here.
Of course, it's my pleasure. You know what? When I learned about your organization, Expression Art, it was so amazing to see. It was like a breath of fresh air because in a world where we see each other as competitors, right? You're trying to build your own competitors, right? In a way, because you're trying to build a community where there is no jealous or any of that. And you're trying to build entrepreneurs. You're giving them opportunities. You're giving them ways to grow, ways to learn, ways to make mistake and then learn from it. It's amazing. So let's start from there because that's something that I was so inspired when I spoke to you. So let's start from there. So what is this Expression Arts?
So Expressions Arts is a nonprofit organization that I started a few years ago. So I mean, community outreach is something that is very close to my heart. Like right from my childhood, I've been doing it because of my grandparents and my parents, like who have always been involved so much to give back and all. So it is not something that I planned on doing or anything. It just was a way of life for me. Without it, I don't know who I am. So it was like more of a lifestyle. Coming to US and all, was a big change. And when I was completely confused, what to even do. Like before that, I was working and so busy, and suddenly, like I came back, came here, and it was more like a cultural shock. And more than anything, it was I just felt lost, and I felt like I had to find myself and ways to love myself and feel good about myself. So that's when like I again started taking up art, because art has been a very special part of my life. And that journey from where I started as a hobby to how it became into a profession, and then how it just transformed into something bigger than myself was really like not that easy. it took time, and the journey also was having a lot of ups and downs. Because the main reason is because I didn't have anyone to tell me what is the right way of success, or anything for that matter, and who has time for all that, to make you feel like well connected and comfortable in what you're doing. So I felt it was really important that this is something that could be taught, and it's a quicker journey of success. I felt like once I got to where I was, I felt it was really important, especially for younger generation, because I mean I'm an art teacher. So for me, I meet like these enthusiastic kids all the time, and I started off with kids, but then it just grew tremendously. Like now, there are so many adults also who are passionate about so many different things, and they don't find the platform where they can actually showcase. So I felt it was really important to give what I got through my experience, which took a long time. So there is a shortcut way of doing it. So that is when I started the program called Prep Academy, where I help students to start their own initiatives, and right from, and the best part is it's all free. So right from scratch, like what they want to do, how they want to do, and as basic as writing a bio to creating a website, I help them with all. And with that, we've helped more than 36 youth-led initiatives, and a lot of adults also have started a lot of business in art industry. So it's not that I mean, I would like to correct you on that. Like you mentioned, I was creating my competitors. It's life is not a zero-sum game, right? So I mean, it has a lot to offer. So it's just growing together, and living as a community. So it just feels good to see others, and see when they grow, I feel like a part of me is there with them in their journey as well. So it just feels a little satisfying.
Wow, it's amazing because I have seen it personally what
Mhm.
these kids can go
Mhm.
and achieve, right? I would like to know more about, like you said, not just kids or adults are also a part of
Mhm.
this, and
Mhm.
you're helping them grow their art initiatives. So do you have any examples of
Yeah,
that?
I have had a lot of mainly women who are in tech industry and all, who wanted to like take art as a profession, as a full-time profession, and come out of this corporate world and all. And I've helped them start their own art schools and all, and they are actually doing pretty well. Not just here in Seattle, in other places also, other states also. They've been doing pretty well, and it's so satisfying to see that like everybody is growing together. The best part about this is they've not just started it as a business the way I started it as a business, but then we expanded it for the outreach and all. The beautiful part is even they are continuing the outreach and everything in all the different parts. Yeah, in fact, yesterday, one of my who was my student, she's an adult, and she moved to a different part of US, and then she was doing sessions and all, and then she went to India for a vacation, where she ended up hosting an activity for kids, for 90 kids. Started a film production wing in Expressions Arts this year. So that is something that was completely unplanned, we've done sets design and all that for different plays and all. And at that time, I realized that there are so many other different field artists who want to also showcase their work. Not everybody trusts their dreams, and is ready to invest time, energy, effort, and money. So I thought, why not? The film production just started off out of nowhere, and we had zero experience. And the moment I asked, do you want to do this? Because I know that I wanted to help out one person over there, who's an adult. So I felt like it was really important that he's very talented, and I really wanted to make sure that his talent doesn't go unseen, so just for his sake, I thought, okay, why not, just let's ask. We asked, and you won't believe the number of responses that we got from that. And that is when I realized that there is so much talent everywhere, and there are so many stars around us. So it was an amazing experience to see so many different artists from so many different fields, and they all got a chance to shine, and it's a good feeling,
Yes.
like yeah.
I can imagine because I have seen that. Like when I
Mhm.
was talking to you about this, I've seen that. It was amazing to watch
Mhm.
that. And again, like art, you don't restrict yourself just to painting, or right? You
It started
expand it.
off that way, but I never thought that we would actually branch out in so many different areas. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy the amount of stuff that we do right now. We organize close to 300 events a year, and
Nice.
like at least 10% of those events are like really massive events.
Yeah.
So I mean, but see, again, it's not just me. Okay, it's a whole village. Like I mean, we have hundreds and hundreds of volunteers. Like that's what, like, I'll not say volunteers, hundreds of artists around us who are passionate and who want to do the same thing. And see, everybody is doing it as a passion. Nobody's getting paid for it. Or like this crowd that I'm talking about, it's not like a paid crowd. They come, they want to genuinely be there for the right reasons. So I mean, it's a good feeling, to have that. So.
And you also conduct a lot of these workshops in
Mhm.
senior living and also in libraries. So
Mhm.
it's accessible to everybody, right? It's not
Yeah.
just your students or.
Exactly. So that one is the beginning of all the community outreach activities. So like 10 years ago, I started teaching in a senior living place where I used to teach free workshops. So which I was like doing it by myself. Like almost for 5 years, I was just doing it by myself. Pandemic hit, and nobody gets to do anything, and they were all inside, and the creativity in everybody was like diminishing a little bit, and we wanted to just bring the spark up. And then we thought, okay, we'll host an international art contest. We were able to identify like close to 4,000 artists from 67 different countries, and we've given platform for those people. And like it was an absolutely amazing experience, and that grew up slowly into so many different things. Yeah, so like we started off like with workshops for seniors in memory care units and veterans and their families, kids with special needs, libraries, art at the park, and so many other different things. So slowly the volume of people getting involved in all of this just increased tremendously. And like we also organize children's business fair and youth entrepreneur expo, where we identify the real entrepreneurs and recognize them and give them grants. And see, it's not just that, like we say that, okay, you have a dream, I can advise a lot of people can give, but is there somebody who can actually hold your hand and help you with the whole process? So that's what we do, like because it's not just about having a vision. So we bring the vision to reality by even giving them micro grants. So yeah, I mean,
So this
the whole
micro
process.
grant is something that you give for the organization or for kids?
It's mainly for youth, but it's not limited to youth. If there are other people who are interested, they are welcome to apply for it. But we want to make sure that it is supporting mainly for people who don't have the means to do it and have a big dream. And if it is genuinely helping the community, we make sure, most of it, we make sure that we are able to support any and everyone who is wanting to do something. So
It's amazing.
yeah.
And from our conversation, like for the past 10-20 minutes, I can see that you're genuinely excited for them, right? It's not like, you know what, I'm giving you money, you go do something. It's not, because from what I understand, it's not the case, right?
Yeah,
You're
it's not just giving the money.
yeah.
After that, we also do the mentorship and
Yes.
training, and we make sure that we help them with connections with all the different organizations, whatever their project is. We make sure that we help them till the end.
From what I understand from all your things, like you're doing an amazing community outreach. And can we talk about, like, not just you, even your students, right, who graduate from you,
Parents as well.
Parents as well. So they do this because I think it's contagious. Like you helping them, they've seen what difference that it makes to the community. And
see, it's not just that, it's not always about the community. It's just the cleansing feeling that we have within. Like for the world, when we do it, it's only for a little bit. Like you feel, okay, fine, I have to do this, I have to do that. But that's not what it is. It's more from inside. You feel that urge to do it, and you feel that I want to do it because I enjoy what I'm doing, and this is something that has to be done, at least for my own like sanity. And because the world is like so fast paced nowadays, and nobody has time. And in that, taking some time off, not for yourself, doing something nice, but feeling good for yourself, it's like a nice chain.
Yeah. I think it's a nice mental. I think it's one way to mentally de-stress yourself. I think that's much needed in the current scenario of what's happening in tech world and all that. It's amazing, amazing, sweetie. So can we go one step back? So Expression Arts Prep Academy, we have seen it all. Now you have a whole, as you mentioned, you have a whole village to support you. But once upon a time, when Sweetie was all by herself, so how did this start? Like the Sweetie Sharada Arts, right? So that was your first brainchild list. So how did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, art is something I've been doing right from my childhood. I never thought even for a second that I'll take this as a profession. But my parents always thought that this is what I should take as profession. You know, like, and being in India, like everybody just thinks that, oh, okay, doctor, engineering, lawyer, something like that. You know, nobody
Yes.
encourages you to take art as a profession. Maybe now, like, some parents do, but back then, like, come on,
Yes.
like, nobody would say
Passion would take a
yeah,
like,
always a
you can do it as
backseat.
a hobby, like be an
Yeah.
engineer and do something. Like,
Yeah. I mean, education is the first thing that has to be focused on. See, like, I'm from Gujarat, and like over there, business was the main thing. My dad is a businessman, and for me, you know, business has been something that I was like right from childhood. I was like, yes, this is my passion, and you can just say that it's in my blood because generation, like. They've all done business, and I also felt like yes, that was not something that was taught to me. I just felt like that's what is me, you know. And I did my MBA in finance, and I was working in India, and like very successful, and like it was all peaceful until I got married and came here, and things just changed tremendously. It was not easy, and suddenly, like from being independent to like becoming so dependent for even for the smallest things, you know,
financially and
financially, and like yeah, I mean, I just started doubting myself a lot, and like not just doubting, I started feeling low about myself, like maybe I'm not good enough, and I don't know, like I mean, idle mind is devil's workshop, right? So like it's yeah, I was not like in a great state of mind. That's when my husband was like, I mean, you love art, why don't you just start doing it again? So just to kill time, I thought, okay, fine. Like I got some supplies and I started doing. The best part about this is my in-laws, just like my parents, my in-laws always thought I one day I'm just going to become a very like famous artist, and I'm just going to be so self-satisfied with that.
so everybody saw that except you.
Everybody, yeah, my mom, dad, my sister, my in-laws, they were all like, yeah, she's so talented. I never thought that, I mean, to take that as a profession, even in my wildest dreams, okay. But they still like kept telling me all that, and I was like, okay, maybe like I'll just start painting again. So I started painting, and it was again only to kill my time because which I had a lot. So within no time, my whole house was filled with the artwork. So then my husband was telling that there's a show coming up. Do you want to just do it? I thought, oh, why not? Like, I mean, what am I going to do with all this stuff here? That show was a turning point in my life. It actually opened up so many doors for me. So, the best part about the show is, as I mentioned, I love business. That place was not my creative space, but my selling skills helped. I was almost sold out in my first show, which made me think that, oh my God, this is actually a good business. Then, obviously, how many people are lucky enough to get their passion as their profession, right? For me, like both passions, business and art, both are my passion. They just became into a profession. And there was one kid who came and she asked me if I can start teaching classes for her. So that is how like I felt like, okay, fine, maybe not a bad option. Then my husband helped me send a word about that, and I had one student for almost 3 months, and my husband kept telling, it's okay, like we'll see, like and at that time like it was not things don't go viral that easily, because you know, like it was just starting off the Facebook and all that. So and after 3 months, slowly it started picking up, and that one student, they referred 6 families who had two kids. So that was the next big step for me, and I used to like travel to different places to teach, and I'm a certified Bob Ross instructor, so I used to host Bob Ross workshops, and everybody here in US knows Bob Ross, and they're obsessed with his style. So in that particular time, I was the only certified Bob Ross instructor. So in fact, I wanted to learn from somebody. There was no one here. My husband so sweetly, he took me to Florida, and we were there for 21 days. Finished the whole curriculum, and then I became a certified instructor. Then after that it was like super fast paced. But see, that was one part. Along with that, I made sure that I didn't give away the other part of myself, which was giving back. So that is when I started hosting workshops for the seniors. It's a journey. See, like a lot of people think that, oh, okay, fine, I want to start this. And the first step itself, they think that I want to open up a studio, I want to have this like this. That's not how it works. For me, it took like almost for almost 6 years, 6 or 7 years, like I was teaching in my house. Because you don't want to invest too much money unless you already have a client base that is built. I think people have a wrong notion of that, okay, fine, the first step itself, okay, you need the studio is the first thing that you need, and you need all the supplies and setup and everything, and then you have to get your students. No, that's the wrong way to go. I feel like you need to build your client base enough that, see, that's where the business part helps. So then you start off your thing. So that's how it worked, and worked out.
In today's Artist Spotlight, we are thrilled to feature Shreya Upadhyay, a 11th grader. In this piece, she has captured the feeling of creating art, specifically the freedom and power it can give to a person. She wants to show that it's possible for anyone to create art, despite stereotypes or limitations. She loves creating portraits of women in Indian culture during various activities. Recently, she has shifted from a realistic style to a more abstract style, using colors and rhythms, which has been very enjoyable for her. We wish you all the very best, Shreya.